a youngster there if we're going to bring pieces in. But outside of that, Dion Waiters, big interest from Philly in Dion Waiters. And, but that would be that's something that changes the equation of things, because now the deal changes, because it was previously assumed that the majority of the bulk of the package was going to go towards Minnesota, and then a third team would be in there to facilitate salary cap and asset moving and stuff like that. But now you add Dion, and there's many things afoot, and I think that's one of the things the Cavs said was they had multiple plans on how they were going to do this. But I will go back, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because we've talked about it before. I will continue to stress my problem with the size and scope of the Kevin Love trade. I mean, at the end of the day, I know that you'll say that the Cavs are going to win and that draft picks don't matter when you're winning championships. I completely disagree. I say draft picks mattered a whole lot when LeBron left, because if we had used them right, we would have had a better team and a younger team to put around him. And if Miami had more draft picks to use better and they may have had a better bench than they had in the last year of what they had going there. But my point is, let's say it's Bennett and Wiggins and 2 first-round draft picks. I'm just asking you. I mean, even if it wins one championship, who's worth 4 first-round draft picks, the equivalent of the top of 4 drafts? I mean, and even if you say, well, I'll trade it all for a championship, that's fine. But if you got the depth, and if you got the future depth of the team, you tell me how many years LeBron James is going to play, fill the roster with the veteran minimum, and let's load this place up with a bunch of old guys looking for a ring, and it's going to be me and Kyrie and whoever wants to go for the ride, and Kevin Love. That's what so many people have fronted me with as what they want. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Because look at what happened. I'm just saying, look at what happened to the first experiment of this with them down there. And I keep going back to the point, and it makes me so mad, whether it's Pro Basketball Talk, whether it's Sheridan Hoops, all of these articles that say these things about LeBron's running the show and he wants this and he's making demands for that. And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, if this stuff is true, and I don't put a lot of stuff into what these people are just spreading out for rumors, because a lot of this is just garbage talk that people throw out there because they believe it, because they go, oh hell, it's Cleveland, so people will believe that they're going to just let LeBron come in and gut their team. My point that I go back to is, why bother with the letter? Why? Because I said this to somebody yesterday. I may have even said this on the air. If you want to win now, it's easy to say, I'm coming home and I'm coming to win now. My friends are going to join me up there, and we're going to bring a championship to Cleveland now. I'm coming home, and I'm coming to win. You could have just as easily said that. And matter of fact, you would have fired people up more. You might have sold season tickets out in 6 hours instead of 8. My point is you could have told whatever story you wanted. Why bother with the blah, blah, lather of we're going to build, we're going to do this the right way, and I'm going to get frustrated, but we're going to build a winner, and I'm not promising anything, and it's going to take time, and I understand that. My point is, why bother with that? Because if you're going to gut the team and the narrative's going to come out that way anyway, then at the end of the day, okay, maybe you end up with the championship in 2 or 3 or 4 years, and then what's to say that you're not worse off at the end for it? And there's people that'll look me to my face and go, I will trade that one championship for that right now. And I said, that's great. That's great. And I'm sure a lot of people will say that too. But, that championship, 30 minutes after it's over, people are already looking ahead to the next season and to the next. I'm just telling you that you can only savor that for so long. And it doesn't matter if at the end of the day, you end up in a dead-end road. And it does not matter if you can talk about all of these. I see some comments in the chat room there. You can talk about all the assets you put together. You can talk, and you do put those together so that you can combine them and make a move and at some point win. You don't just gather assets to keep them, but you don't also empty your arsenal and then look around and realize that you didn't win the war. You didn't win the war, but now you're out of bullets. And that's what I see happening for the Cavaliers if they attack this a certain way. And this whole Kevin Love frenzy is created by Flip Saunders. I'm telling you, man. And they're trying to drive up the market between the Cavs, between the Warriors, and now the Bulls have supposedly jumped in here. And at the end of the day, if these teams sit back and wait, I'm very curious to see how this could evolve. The problem is that every team's worried that one of the other teams is not going to sit back and wait, and therefore they're going to get jumped. And I say at that point, if a team is going to trade half its roster for Kevin Love, then you just weren't going to beat that deal anyway. If they were going to go higher than you, they're going to do it whether you do it now or whether you do it at the trade deadline. Let things play out. See what you got. Let not just the Cavs. Don't just let the Cavs see what you got. Let other teams see what you got too. See what Wiggins develops into. I mean, and it's going to be rudimentary athleticism and defense. But, guess what? Right now, everything's unknowns. You're trading away unknowns. You're trading for unknowns. There's a lot of different things in play. Let more things become known, and maybe you end up with a better deal out of it. I'm just not about buying the beans from the lady who tells me it's going to give me a beanstalk up into the Magic Kingdom up there, and I'm going to go see the Giant and fee fi fo fum. I just want it to be done the right way, and I get so frustrated. I'm looking at another article right here that says what LeBron wants, he's going to get in Cleveland, and he wants to win right now. And I just go back to, then why bother with the whole BS thing in Sports Illustrated? Because you could have just as simply said, I'm coming to Cleveland, and we're going to win, and we're going to win next season. That's all. Boom. Nobody's going to doubt you because you're still going to improve the team by 20, 25 wins as it is. And that's why I think a lot of this, I do believe that the Cavs are in the middle of this. They'd be silly not to, just to be in the discussion, but they'd be even sillier to give away too much for something that perhaps doesn't bring in the reward that it does. But that's out there. Speaking of LeBron, did you guys see? We got to hit it here. We're way over time, but the last little note of the show here. Did you guys see he made up to his neighborhood out there in Bath Township because they had the cops there? We know, and all the people were there and all of that. He made it was for like 85 of his neighbors. He sent out cupcake deliveries. He hit up the cupcake place and sent out boxes of a dozen cupcakes to like 86 of his neighbors to apologize to them for the all the intrusion of the people there or whatever. And they were the LeBron James cupcakes from the cupcake shop. That was one of the people. Remember, it was the cupcake shop and the personal trainer that dropped the scoops about LeBron coming home. These guys were making those homecoming cupcakes or whatever, and the personal trainer was at the tattoo shop and he heard somebody talking about the coming home tattoo or something, and so this was the cupcake shop. But yeah, LeBron sent his neighbors a dozen cupcakes of LeBron's new brand of cupcakes to make up for the intrusion in the neighborhood. There you go. What a nice neighbor. Those guys in Bath Township must love that James guy. But anyways, guys, we're up against it. Great show today, man. And I don't mean my part of it. I mean you guys interacting with the show. Maurice Hall, Dan Wismar, great interview. Good show. Long show. How does that happen? It's the curse of death. As soon as you say you're going to have a short show, it turns into the longest show of the month. Guys, we're going to call it a day. Go Indians. We'll talk about it tomorrow with Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com. Talk about the latest on the verge of training camp, whatever's going on with the Cavaliers, all the news in the NBA, the NFL, around the world of sports, your takes and more live right here. Same bad time, same bad channel, noon tomorrow on the Sports Fix. We love you, Cleveland. We'll see you tomorrow.
And I know I ain't the only one. Modell tried to steal my heart, but we brought it back. Thanks to Cleveland Clinic, now they call them Kiss the Cardiac. Rock Cars, Science Center, Tower City, all of that. Warehouse District, Euclid Corridor, and all the flat. You know that I'm a Tribes fan, and I love Slimans. Crockett Park's the perfect place for me to spend some time in. Baby, this is Cleveland. It is so much more to us. You can even go to Severance Hall to see an orchestra. Hey.
Yeah. Blue lights separate the grind from the gritty. We're sick fitted. Hood pass cover any city that we visit. When the up on Cleveland.